Welcome to the TNT podcast, where we discuss all of the hottest current events within hip hop culture, album reviews, politics within the music industry, and more. You all know me by Tellurian. I am one half of the TNT podcast, and of course, I have my brother here with me.
Yes, sir. My name is Timothy. I'm the other half of the TNT podcast, and we're here with the shits. We are bringing unbiased, unfiltered, honest conversations about hip hop and the culture. So if you're sensitive about your favorite artist or public figure, go on ahead to the next podcast, but you can still follow us though. Just remember, these are our opinions, and we are only speaking on behalf of us. Thank you all for tuning in.
All social media platforms will be in the description for each and every episode, so don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Peace and love. Yes, sir. This is episode 54 of the TNT podcast. TNT. I am one half of the TNT podcast, Tellurian, and I'm going to let my brother introduce himself like he always does.
Yes, sir. Y'all know me by Timothy. I'm the other half of the TNT podcast, TNT. We're here, episode 54, back with another one, a special one.
Yes, sir. And we got our brother on, Chris Teague. Bruh, we so happy to have you on here, bro. How are you feeling?
Man, I feel good. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm glad I made it through another week.
Facts.
I'm glad to be on the TNT podcast. Glad to be talking to my bros tonight, man. Just feeling good right now.
Yes, sir. Yes,
wait,
sir.
wait, Tellurian, wait. So we got to do this right. So we have the singer, songwriter, saxophone player. God,
yes.
Proper introduction. You know what I'm saying? Multi-talent.
Bachelor's degree, master's degree.
The motherfucker that makes me need to get my talents up. What we say, get our talents up. You know what I'm saying? Chris Teague is here.
Man, I'm inspired by you, bro. For real, it's crazy.
Man,
it's crazy,
bro. This whole introduction. First of all, y'all do the most. Second of all,
oh, this is really real though. This is really real. Like we be talking about you for real. Like I'm like, bro, I just randomly bring you up in conversation. I'm like, this man got a bachelor's and a master's. I need to do something.
That's facts.
It's more so inspired though, bro. I'm definitely inspired for sure.
I agree.
I appreciate that, man, for real. Just like you inspired by me, I'm inspired by you, man. You be out here killing it. You and Tim, both of y'all.
Man.
Big fans of TNT. Big fans.
Yo, I love it, bro. I appreciate it, man. We fans of you, bro. Like for real. Like I've been talking about this project for a minute. Like, oh wow.
Tellurian been telling me, you listen to Chris Teague? You listen to Chris Teague? I'm just like, nah, I haven't gotten around to it yet. And then I finally listened to it, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
But no, man. So how are you feeling, man? During this pandemic, we've been in crazy times. A lot of crazy shit been going on. How have you been holding up on your end?
You know, it's hard for everybody. I think the biggest thing is just realizing that I'm not the only one like dealing with stuff. Like I'm not the only one who's dealing with like loneliness and just feeling like they're not doing enough or very annoyed by not being able to do like normal things. And I think just like being able to be home, like I'm back in Dallas now, has helped like tough out the pandemic a little bit, although I'm still working, although I'm like still just as busy as I was when I was in school and doing all the other stuff. But I feel good. I'm in a better space than I was now at the top of the pandemic. Because when everything first like hit the fan, it was crazy. My mental was not there, but I'm in a much better place now.
That's good to hear, bro.
That's good to hear.
I would have never known that. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like it's crazy. Like the stuff you don't see, you just be thinking everything is just cool with everybody, but till you actually just talk to them, you're like, dang, I did not know that.
Yeah, it was like I mean, of course we were on lockdown. Like, of course, nobody was leaving the house, but I was like in the house, like losing my mind. I was in an apartment with the roommate that I never saw because he was never there. I was literally like by myself. And that was the first time that I had just like really been by myself and didn't have the ability to just worry about things or do things or have things to keep me productive and busy. And it was like, dang, you really got to deal with the type of nigga that you are. Like, it's crazy. So, like, you really
Man,
got to deal with yourself right now. It was awful, but I made it through it. You know, we do the work, we deal with ourselves, so we can bring in the new year a better way, a better me, I guess. But yeah, again, a much better space now than I was at the top of the pandemic.
Yeah, that's good, bro. That's good.
Yeah, that's good to hear. The pandemic, it put a lot of things into perspective, man. We were able to see a lot of negative and a lot of positive. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed that we're all still here. You know what I'm saying? We lost a lot of people last year. And still losing a lot of people this year. But how y'all feeling about that vaccine though?
I don't want to say 50-50. I'm gonna say more so 60-40. And the 60 is don't take it. And the 40 is like and the 40 is like I want to do some stuff. Like
yeah, man. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm skeptical still.
I was very skeptical, I will say, but just due to everything that I had going on and like me being back home with people over the age of 50, had it been just me and I just been by myself, I'm like, all right, I mean, I'm good. I can bounce back, you know, but I live with people who can't bounce back as quick. So I went on ahead and I Moderna gang, you know, both.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
We've been outside with it since then, you know, we rocking and rolling. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I felt a little sick after the first dose. I took the second dose and felt a little sleepy, but I mean, ultimately I feel good. I don't think my microchip is gonna blow up or anything. I think
not microchip.
I don't think it's gonna blow up or anything. I think I'm gonna be straight. I think I'm gonna be good.
Oh man, not gonna turn into a zombie. Not gonna turn into a zombie.
No, I hope not.
Oh man, yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit skeptical about it. I wouldn't say that I'm like an anti-vaxxer or anything like that. I'm just trying to wait until we have some more information because I'm not too sure about it right now. But over the past few weeks, I've just kind of been like, man, I just need to go ahead and get it, to be honest. Because I'm like you, Lauren. I want to go out there and do shit. And I'm around people of age. My mom is of age. And, I just want to make sure that I don't put anybody in jeopardy. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get it done, man.
Bro, I might have to, bro. I think I am because I am about to be coming home. And I'm going to be around my mom and my pops. Yeah. My pops is 60. My mom's about to be 60. Like they getting up there. So I'm like, damn, I'm about to be around this. I might need to go ahead and take it.
Yeah. I think for me, like after I got it, it was the fact that I was able to, my grandmother was the first person to get fully vaccinated in my house. And then once I got fully vaccinated, just like the feeling of being able to hug, like truly, genuinely hug after, dang, it literally had been since March. And I didn't think I was the type of person. I'm not like a touchy-feely person. Like I'm not really into all of that. But like once you go so long without a hug, you know, right? You know, like that. It sounds real sappy, but that's real life. Like that's a social experiment that they was putting us through. How long can these people go without touching and hugging? Sick. So just to be able to like put my arms around somebody, you know, it just felt good.
Yeah. And all that stuff is important too, man. Like not being able to do all that, we really realize like that stuff means a lot. So
just little stuff. I'll be like, dang, we really do take a little thing like a hug for granted. That's crazy. I don't even think about it like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I was just curious. How did y'all two meet?
So
I feel like Tellurian knows everybody. Like
no, I really don't. I don't.
He really do.
He does. This nigga knows everyone.
I know everybody.
So me and you, we met through Megan.
Yes.
Megan. So I've been knowing Megan since I was in the 6th grade. And then I left DeSoto in like the end of 8th grade and I moved to Urban. Yeah. And so I knew Megan and me and Megan followed each other, of course, on social media. And then I used to see Christian like in the comments or something. I think when I would comment or something like that. And then we were supposed to meet up one day, I think it was, but we didn't never meet up. But no, I was at the what do you call it? It was like the Poets in Autumn tour or something, and I ran into you.
Yeah,
so I had
the first time we met
up with him.
Person.
Yeah, I had been meaning to meet up with him, but I coincidentally, like, it's like I accidentally met him in person. Like,
that's crazy.
Like, because he was at the Poem in Autumn tour, and then I was there. So like, I literally like just chopped it up with him for a second, and then I think after that's when I had locks. So after that, like, I got in the military, and I got in the military, and I talked to him on social media, but we still hadn't like really linked up. And then it wasn't until we all linked up, like when you was with us, that when I was actually hanging out with him, like, for the first time.
That was when we went to Stir, right?
Yeah, that was like the first time like I hung out with him. Like, but we had been knowing each other for years, like
years.
13,
14.
Yeah, something like that. So like, and so it was crazy. Like, we knew each other, but we didn't know each other. Like, so it was weird. It's crazy.
But I mean, like, we had enough conversations. Like, oh yeah, Taylor, yeah, that's my nigga. I know him. Like,
that's my bro. Like,
it
was like that.
Like, you know, we had enough interaction, non-physical, like, for me, like, vouch for him and like say that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't on no weird stuff like, these niggas been like internet talking and they ain't never met before.
Nah, it was like that. It was like a love, mutual respect thing, and it was just like, we would always talk all the time. We just had never got. It's like when I got in the Air Force, I really didn't have a chance to actually link up with him, because it was like he saw me at the tour, and then after that it was like I was in the Air Force, and it was like the next 2 years. I was just so it was like he never saw me in between that time, so we never got to really hang, until like I came home that one time, and then that's when we like actually hung out for the first time. But yeah, I've been knowing him since like 2013, something like that.
Wow. And I also feel like Taylorian's taste in music was like always good like it was a good conversation driver. So if I don't talk to Taylorian about anything, we're gonna talk about a little bit of current events. I mean, we're gonna check in with each other because he over there doing dangerous stuff. Want to make sure
I'm not doing it's not that dangerous.
I mean, I don't know what you was over there doing. I don't know what you was over there doing. I'm
talking about the plane jump. Talking about the plane jump.
We're talking about the plane jump.
You're adventurous. You do everything. You like to jump out of planes,
cars,
all of that. Not jumped out of a train.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm not doing it.
Or not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
I'm telling you, it never happened. I don't plan. I'm not that. I don't want to say white, but I'm not that adventurous.
Nigga jumped out of a plane and went to the Grand Canyon.
He said, "Cat, stop the cat." So stop the cat.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's too funny. Nah, but yeah, we always have music conversations, and then I remember one time he was just on live, and we just was like on live just talking. And oh no, I remember I think you dropped the single "Suicide," and I was like,
don't break
I was like, are you dropping something like a project? I was like, I wanted to know. I was like, he's like, I'm working on something. I was like, I'm ready. I can't wait. So yeah, and that's just how our relationship, man. We just been talking, and we talk about music and just life and stuff like that. So
that's what's up. That's cool. I was just curious because I feel like you know everybody. You the plug, so you know.
Bro, I really don't. I wish, like, people always say, they be like, bro, you know everybody. It's like, I do, but I don't. It's like some people. No, I'm just saying, some people I know, like, I know a little bit about them, or I be around them a little bit, but I don't really know them. But like, my circle is really small. I just know a lot of people. But he's my brother though, so it's not like I know him and he's just somebody. He's really like my bro. But yeah, I know a lot of people, but I don't hang with everybody. So that's really what it is. Yeah, I do know a lot of people. I just don't know them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
But yeah, but you know, got to keep my ears to the street sometimes. You know, got to network a little bit.
A lot of big. That's what makes it
Or a lot, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, where y'all want to start? Like, I want to get into this EP though. Like, I wanna talk about this.
Yeah, we can get right into it. Unavailable, the EP.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, what's the questions that they going?
Because they ain't told me nothing they're gonna be asking me, so I'm low-key nervous because it's always the who is this song? I've already.
Oh man, I kind of got something similar. I got
all about, or I've already coached myself
because it's a couple questions I got. It's you can answer them if you want to. You can not answer.
No, y'all like I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. Y'all might get more real than I give in these little live streams I do, because people be on the live streams, they be trying to play me. I don't got time for that.
Oh man. Man, oh man.
Yeah, I got mad questions. Unavailable, the EP. This is the first project. So now that it's finally out, my first question is do you feel like it's a weight that's been lifted off of your shoulder? Was it a release for you to finally put it out? Because, you know, a lot of time as creators, like when me and Tori started the podcast, we were bouncing around ideas, and I was just like, I'm ready to just do it. I'm ready to just get it out. Like, and when we finally put it out, I was like, oh. So do you feel that way?
Yes. Like, I was literally stressed until the day that people heard it. I was on pins and needles, like not being able to sleep, barely eating. It's just like, wow. First of all, I get anxious over everything. I don't text back. Taylor, you know, I do not text back because my cell phone makes me so anxious. So like if my cell phone make me anxious, of course my first like EP or like music project will make me as equally as anxious. Like I was literally stressing over stuff that I knew I could not change. The music had already been sent to distribution, it's already on the platforms. We're like 2 days out. I can't change what people are going to hear. So like, why am I stressed? But it's like after people push play and then you get that initial reaction, all of that kind of just started like easing up off of me a little bit. I got the first text message, and then I got the first call, and then I got the second call, and then like 2 and 3 other people was calling me like at midnight while I'm still on the phone, and all these text messages and tags on social media started coming in, and I feel like that's when the weight like really started lifting off of me.
Yeah. And were there like major changes that you wanted to make, or was it just like, you know, small tweaks? Or
I would say musically, not really. Because my main focus was just on, it just needs to sound good. Like with indie artists, of course, people don't expect indie to do like a full-blown like signed artist rollout. Like you're not gonna be able to do this big fancy promo video, these big fancy graphic, like, but as an artist, that's what my mind goes to. So in terms of music, I was like, okay, it just needs to sound good. And I was satisfied enough for like this being my first project. Like, okay, I mean, at the end of the day, my pen is there, my vocal is there. Nothing is sharp, nothing is flat. I'm hitting all my notes. I'm singing everything in time. You know, nothing sounded crazy or nothing sounded off. So I was like, all right, that's good enough for me. Not as far as
perfectionist. You're a perfectionist.
Yeah, I am. Like, I'm such a perfectionist. Even on the smallest things, like if I'm gonna drop like a cover video on YouTube or Instagram, like I will take an hour to record like a 30 seconds.
Wow.
I will. I'm such a perfectionist. I cannot afford, or in my head, I can't afford to like have the slightest imperfection. I'm such a perfectionist, and I hate that about myself. I really just want to like let myself be and just release stuff without all of that, but that's just the way I am. So I wanted to change stuff, but again, it was already, what was done. I just had to go ahead and let it be.
Yeah, I can identify with being a perfectionist. I'm the same way. I'm gonna say it's a downfall for a lot of things for me. So I'm right there with you. And I just want to say that this project was a breath of fresh air. Like we needed this R&B more than ever, like right now. So I just want amazing project. Amazing.
I appreciate that. That's like I think that's probably like one of the best compliments I've gotten. Like a breath of fresh air, bro.
Yeah,
A breath
man.
of fresh air. You know, air is everywhere. Come on. Like that is dope. When it's time to promote this episode, I'm gonna take this snippet right here and post it on social media.
Oh yeah. Oh
Hey,
yeah.
the name of this episode, Breath of Fresh Air.
Breath of fresh air. Yeah. Yo, you should just name it that.
But I really mean that though. Like I'm being for real.
No, that's real though. That's yes, bro. My question was, it was about the song in particular, "Falling." So I'm kind of going through like some of the songs. So you said you made me want to take a chance on love again. Are you talking about like a future woman, or is like that you want to be with? Are you talking about like somebody in the future? Pretty much. Like, are you talking to like your future woman that you want to talk to?
When I wrote it, it wasn't like a future thought. I was kind of like reminiscing on a feeling that I had about somebody at the time, just because like people who know me know that I'm not out like dating relationships. Why? Like, no. That's just who I am. I'm really trying to work on that because I want to be married and have children one day. But like at the time when I was writing that, like, no, that's just not where I was. So the feelings and emotions were so strong. It's like, dang, I don't date, but I could really like date you. Like, I could really see myself like being your boyfriend, being your man. Like, I could really do that. And I think that line catches like, you're not the only person who's asked me about that line, just because people know that I don't date, like, or I haven't been in a relationship since like high school. So that, in terms of answering your question, it was about somebody in the moment. It was really just like a past thought, not really like anybody in the future. But I mean, you could spin it that way. Like, I could see myself being in a relationship with you in the future. Like, that's how I meant it. But at the time, it's like, okay, this is me talking to somebody in a specific moment, in a specific time.
Okay. I like it. I was like, yeah, this is interesting. I don't know if he's talking to like somebody in the future or it was a current thing going on. I was like, this is interesting. I like it.
Like all three things.
It's nice.
All three things.
Yeah. It just gave me that old traditional R&B sound. I was like, this right here is it. This is it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you explained it that way because, you know, when I listen to music, I'm weird. I like to analyze. Like, I really get into the lyrics and shit. So when I was listening to this, I heard the first record, Falling, and I understand what you just said and what you just explained. I was listening to it like it was like a story. So like Falling, you were saying that there's this love interest, and then Give Me All was you saying, you know, I want you to give me.
Question about that.
Yeah, I want you to give me your all, and then switch up this love interest. Switched up on you. And then Brown Liquor was you know, of course, we all know what the title of Brown Liquor means. We all know what that means.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the end, Unavailable, you said that you were emotionally unavailable. So I kind of looked at it as like a story. Am I wrong in that? Or
you are like, your interpretation is the way that I meant for it to be interpreted. Now,
that's perfect.
As an artist, I feel like you can't really dictate how people listen to your music or the stories or what people see, what people visualize, like what people feel when they listen to it. You can't dictate that. All you can do is put out your best music and just hope that people view it the way you view it. But if they don't, as long as they get something from it. But Timothy, you spot on. Like, that's literally the way I ordered it, set up the track list in that chronological order. That's the story I wanted to tell.
That's amazing.
The way that it was, because when I was listening to it, I was like, this is sequence perfect. And I don't know if that's story or if it's just, you know, so damn, that's dope. I love that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is insane.
There's so many reasons behind that though. Just like me putting it in that order. Like, I feel like EPs, or as what we've seen of late, because I feel like EPs are just like a recent thing, or just the hype around EPs, especially for independent artists. Like, EPs normally don't have that type of structure, or they aren't that, you know, chronological, or they don't tell stories like that. But for me, it was like, I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't even know if I'm gonna do another project after this. So we just gonna treat it like it's an album.
Like an
And
album.
I'm gonna treat it like I want to tell a
Yeah.
story in album order, or like album chronology. So I'm just gonna place the sets, I'm gonna place the tracks in the order that I would tell a story on an album. So that's the way I did it.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's what I got from. I was like, this don't feel like an EP. It feel like an album. Like the
Because
way that
y'all
you
kept
the way
calling
this
it an album.
I didn't call it no, I kept calling it an EP, but I was just like, when you listen to it, you forget it's an EP because of the storytelling. It's almost like a lot of people don't do storytelling in that short amount of time. So it's just like that it felt like an album. So yeah, because I mean you just got straight to the point with it. So I was like, this feels like an album.
That's what I love. Me and Tabari talk all the time. I love short projects. I love it when it's straight to the point. So this was perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like this was made for me. This was made for
Yeah,
me.
concepts. It's like a concept project. It's just like, because some people just put songs together for an EP, but this sounded like an actual whole concept. So I was like, I like it.
Yeah, and it is dope too that you say that you know, listeners can interpret it the way that they want to, because I also kind of felt like maybe it could be a story of love could be so toxic that it like detaches you from reality, and you're like,
that's what I got from Brown Liquor.
You become unavailable at that point. So it's dope. This whole thing is dope.
Yep. That's what I got from Brown Liquor and Unavailable. I was like, woo. Like I was like, he going in.
Now I'm gonna be I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I wasn't about to say anything.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna need, because the saxophone on this was, oh my lord. I
playing at my wedding.
Listen, I would love to have a whole entire project of you just playing the sax. Give it to me.
Yep.
Just give it to me.
You playing the sax at my wedding. Just tell me the price, bro.
Oh, have mercy. Y'all love a wedding saxophone. I literally have been booked for weddings. Like,
I saw that. I saw that on Instagram. I was like, he was playing at a wedding recently.
Yes, and after that, like the same week, I had about 4 or 5 people reach out to me for weddings. I had a boat party booking come through. I'm like, okay,
wow.
So obviously I'm gonna have to start playing a lot. Like I'm gonna have to, because I put my horn down. Like when I got to grad school, I was like, I don't got time for this. These 20-page papers are kicking my tail. I am not in music school anymore. I am trying to be a student affairs professional. So let me just put this horn down for a second. So I sat it down, and to be honest, like I'm not the most confident in my playing ability. So I'll let that take the back seat. And I honestly like to showcase myself as more of a singer, but I break it out every now and again. I like to incorporate it in some of my shows, and if I'm recording a project, of course it's gonna be saxophone. Like that'll be like the secondary lead, but for the most part, I just between y'all and myself, I'm not the most confident when it comes to my saxophone playing. And the people close to me know that. They know that. They know I hate playing the saxophone.
So like speaking of music, like with the sax, are you like, is your bachelor's in music or is just like education in your master's in what's your bachelor?
Bachelor's is in music. I was going to school for music ed, and I was going through the music program. Love Sam Houston. I fell in love with, I feel like campus life a lot more than I fell in love with being a band director or a music teacher. And I just fell in love with like people and like relationship building and like engaging with students and engaging with my campus family. And I love music school, but just the people I was interacting with at the music school just kind of made me fall a little bit out of love with wanting to be a music educator.
Okay.
And I feel like now with the insight that I have about just my professional life and student affairs and career engagement, like I at the time took a passion, because if you knew me in high school, marching band, music, saxophone was my life in high school. And at the time, it seemed like the only thing that I was good at, because it was like I was somewhat an athlete. I was on the football team for a little bit, but I sucked, and I didn't want to play no more. Like, people who know me know that I never stuck to a sport until graduation. I did shot put for a little bit, I did football for a little bit, and I couldn't do it. But marching band was it. So in my head, I was okay in school. Like, I was top 25%. I wasn't just like the greatest at academics. So my passion was like, okay, this is the only thing I'm good at. So obviously this is what I have to major in college. I got to go to college. I don't see myself being good at anything else. And it just seemed like the only thing at the time. But the more that I started doing stuff outside of music school, the more that I feel like God just kept on showing me, like, no, you are so much more than what you think you are. Like, you're actually good with people. You actually okay in the brain. Like, you actually really smart. You know, you can't go to grad school if you want to. Maybe not for music, but you can go to grad school for other stuff. Like, you don't have to just stick to what you think you know, or what you've been told you're gonna be. So I feel like people always interpret that story as like the other way around. Like, they always go for like the more STEM or the more like education route, and then they really want to do like creative stuff. But for me, it was the other way around. Like, I felt like really forced to do a lot of creative things, but I really wanted to flex like an intellectual muscle. So I went to school for music, fell out of love with music ed a little bit. And I was like, well, you know what? I still like music. Like, I still love music. So I'm not gonna like switch my major completely, because I can still use a music degree. I still want to take music theory. I still want to take structure and analysis. I still want to take music history. I still want to learn as much as I can, because when I work independently, like when I get into the R&B realm, when I get into gospel, jazz, like all of the genres that fit me, I want to be able to take the things that I'm learning and apply them there, because that's not what I was learning in music school. I was learning a lot of technical, classical, band, you know, UIL type, Texas music educator, you know, that's what I was getting in music school. And it was not really catering to a lot of my interests. So I went on ahead and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop being scary. I'm just gonna get a BA, and then I'm gonna go to grad school to be a student affairs professional. And I don't have to have a degree in something that I'm passionate about to still make it work for myself. So
yeah. Oh, nice. You
broke
broke that down perfectly.
Bars.
Yeah, that was, yeah, man, that's amazing. Well, speaking of like with you, like with the music, how did you opening up for Mali Music come about? How did that happen? I saw that and I was like, what? It's like, I'm a huge Mali Music fan, so I was like,
me too. I've been a Mali Music fan since like really middle school, like since the Second Coming. Like, that's when I was first.
Same. The Second Coming.
And I've been a stan since. So y'all know I was in San Marcos for grad school. I was at Texas State. Well, while I was there, I had the opportunity to travel to Austin like quite frequently. I started with this group called Stretch Music. But before that, I was introduced to these twins that go by the name of Jermaine and Jamal. They were pretty big in the Austin area, way big now. They have Cajun, Down South Cajun East is like a franchise that they have in the Austin area. And at the time, they were doing like music showcases, we can call them. They called it the Nightcap Tour. And they would get artists that they had been introduced to in the area that would get a house band together. We would do like an A and a B. They would sell tickets to the show. They'll do an after party afterwards. So I had done that like twice with them. And we had just been in so many other social and music settings. I had been in those settings with Jermaine and Jamal. So me and the twins are very cool. And when they opened their actual location for Down South Cajun Eats, which amazing food, by the way, if you ever in Austin, go check them out. Like, food is banging. The vibe it's like one of the hottest Black-owned spots in the Austin area right now.
I love it. Black-owned businesses. We love
Black-owned business. Support the Black.
We always support it on here. We always talking about Black-owned businesses.
Black-owned
all of
Black everything.
So I'm not gonna speak too much on Mali and where he is or what he was doing, but they had a connection to him. He was in the area. This is when his last album came out, and he did like he wanted to do like a private just kind of like celebration for his release. And I guess they wanted to do it family style, and he wanted to be introduced to some artists in the area. And somehow, by God's grace, my name just got thrown in the conversation. And I got a call like the week before and was like, hey, he's coming to celebrate his album release and they want you to open up. And I was like, me amongst a couple of other artists, me, an artist by the name of Sydney, artist by the name of Gio, both two very good friends of mine, and a couple of other people who are in the area too. Some of the dopest musicians I have ever played with. We were just all in that space, and it just felt good to like be in that atmosphere. So it was totally a God thing. Like just for my name to be even brought up in that conversation, like even if I wouldn't have had the chance to even be invited to the private gathering, you know, like just the fact that my name was brought up in the same sentence, you know, like the fact that people were talking to him and his team about me was just like mind blowing, and all credit goes to God for that, because I would not have been able to make that happen by myself. So it was truly and strictly a God thing that I just had to go with it. I was like, so like in a couple of days, you need me there and I need to be ready. Okay, well, we're doing it. Let's do it. Like I'm not gonna turn it down. Like I'm gonna gas up the car.
You can't. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah, man. And that just matches so well for you to like open up for him, because y'all have that similar sound, and it's perfect. That's just perfect. You the perfect opener for him. That's perfect.
Man, so my voice is it's different. It's not like what a lot of people prefer. And I feel like I model and mimic. It's a couple of artists that I just like praise, like crazy praise. But Molly Music was one of the first artists that I meshed with musically and vocally, because I could do a lot of the same things that he could do, or he did a lot of the things that my ear liked and that felt good to me. And his writing style, like in terms of Christian music, was just so out of the ordinary and out of the box at the time. Like I was heavy into like Ty Tribbett, Molly Music, early Kiera Shear, Jay Drew shit. I was heavy into all of them. So when Molly Music and other artists like him stepped on the scene, I was like, this is not like regular Christian music, and I love it. And I like the way they sing. It's like churchy, but it's like very modern and very content. Like it was a mix of everything that I wanted to encompass. Now, while I am not a Christian artist, I feel like the style, like his vocal style, is what I admire.
Oh yeah, I can see that, because when I hear, not saying you sound like Mal, but it's just like y'all make that same type of music, that same genre of music, and I was just like, perfect. That's perfect opener. Like, and it's almost like you people hearing him, it was like they'll hear you. It's like, yep, it's that same type of music. So that's like the perfect mesh.
Did you get to like conversate with him or build with him or anything, or was it just like
like we got to talk. So he did a mic toss at the end of everybody. So we all performed. He performed a couple of selections off of his album, and he invited everybody on the stage, and he did a mic toss. So we got to sing together. Afterwards, we chopped it up very briefly, just because he's a busy man. I didn't want to like spend 20 minutes like just in his face, like talking about nothing. So we chopped it up a little bit and really just telling each other how much we admire and love each other. I mean, me more so to him than him to me, but we chopped it up very briefly, and I was like, that was enough for me. Even the 5 minutes that I just shared a space with him, like literally, this is somebody that I never thought I would have the ability or capability to just even meet, let alone perform for and with. You know what I'm saying? Like just 5 minutes with him to just talk outside of just like being on stage with him was enough for me. And I was on a high that whole night. Like I got in the car, I'm not gonna lie. I may have shed a thug tear or two in the car.
I would have. I would have. I love Malice music.
I was like in the bed that night and I could not sleep. And I was just like, bro, like that really just happened.
Yeah, that's life changing.
Yeah.
That is life changing.
Definitely. Man. Yeah, salute to him for that, man.
That's salute to Mally. Salute to you. That's amazing.
And salute to anybody who made that happen. Them twins, Jermaine, Jamal, all my Austin friends and family, like that. God and between God and them, they definitely keep your boy in, and I'm so grateful for all of them.
Man, I love it, bro. I love to see it.
Love to see it, man. So I just wanted to know, do you still feel like there is a place with the landscape of music right now for traditional R&B? Because we're in the middle of this whole trap R&B, like, you know, it's not about vocals anymore. You still feel like there's a place for that and people still appreciate that?
Yes, I do, but the sector is very small. I feel like, one, I hate when people say R&B is dead. And I'm like, no, R&B is not dead. Y'all just either pay it no mind or y'all keep it hidden because y'all push everything that, and I'm a lover of all types of music, so I'm not gonna knock any music in what I'm about to say, but y'all push other things to the forefront as traditional R&B when some of these things they lean more towards trap music or they lean more towards the hip hop style. When R&B is not dead, R&B is just really hidden, and there are some gems. Like there are indie artists that need to be signed. There are indie artists that need to be backed by the power of a major label. I can spend hours talking about some of the indie artists that I admire who make like legit, real, like the R&B y'all talking about is dead. That's the they making, but I mean y'all don't know about them. So anytime I have the opportunity to name drop an artist that I know nobody has heard of, like not a lot of people know who Kenyon Dixon is, or India Shawn, or Brick
Name
Lane,
drop,
like a Johnny Ombrick. Like nobody knows of these people, but you see them all the time. Like a Johnny sings background for her. Kenyon Dixon does background work for big name people like BET, Avery Wilson, all of the people that you see on the Terrell Brock show. You know, like those are people who make this R&B that y'all say is dead. And I mean, if you would just like take the time and just really do a deep dive, you will see that R&B is alive and well, and it's really like the center of the indie industry, in my opinion.
Yeah. People, I feel like with music, like good music, people are just not searching for it. They're just taking whatever the radio gives them. They're just like, oh, you know, R&B is dead, real hip hop is dead, real whatever is dead. But I'm like, no, I just think y'all are just taking whatever the radio gives y'all. You're not actually searching for good music. Because if you search hard enough, you can find good music. I'm talking about where you'll never listen to the radio.
Absolutely.
And I say that more so R&B because like there's been plenty of times when I've been on my phone on Tidal and I just get to click in and go down the rabbit hole, and there's so many different R&B artists that are so dope, and I agree with you 100%. That is a fact.
That little infinity sign on Apple Music will it really surprise you. And before I had an Apple Music or Spotify account, I had a SoundCloud because SoundCloud was free. I could have it on in the background while I'm playing with other applications on my phone. I could stick my phone in my pocket, have my little earbuds in my ear. So SoundCloud was my introduction to a lot of these people, because that's where they were before they like really started developing as artists. And it's a crazy thing. But R&B is out there. I definitely think that people just need to take the time to do deep dives and not be so closed off to what they like. Like push yourself past what you prefer and you will be surprised.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Yep. So like on this project, it gives me like that I don't know, it sounds like a Renaissance time, like a Black Renaissance time when I listen to it. I feel like I went back in time and so like I know during that time we was facing like oppression and and racism, and it seemed like music was like one of the only things. That's what I felt like when I was listening to this album. I felt like I was like back in the audience in the 50s or 60s, and you was just like on the stage performing. When I would hear the sax, when I would hear the horns, I was like, this is like feel good music. Is that what you was going for, with like a Renaissance sound, or it just so happened to kind of have that sound, or were you trying to make that sound, or it was just?
I would say certain tracks, I was like, I needed to feel like that. Like, for instance, Switch Up, just the meter that is
That song in particular.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt like I was in the audience back in the day. And it was like during the time of racism, but it was like the music forgot, like it made you forget that there was racism around. Like,
yeah,
it felt like that time.
That's powerful.
That song in particular is the song that I felt that on.
Yeah, I like literally, y'all. I'm so grateful for this interview. Y'all are affirming everything that I wanted to. So I wrote Switch Up. Switch Up was either the first or the second song written out of all the things that I had written on that project, and it did not start the way that y'all have it, the way that it has been given to y'all. It was not like that at all. Like, it was very much trap R&B. The way the track that I had lined up for it was very much Bryson Tiller. That's what it was. Wow. That's what it was supposed to give.
Because I hear like church organs. I hear the sax. I was like, oh, this is taking me like to church, into like a 50s, 60s type. I was like, the fact that it wasn't going to be that. I'm so glad you made it that. Like, oh my God.
It wasn't supposed to be that. Like, the only song, I can truly say the only two songs that were given to y'all the way that they were intended were Brown Liquor and Giving Y'all. Fallen was written to a different vibe, a different feel. Fallen was supposed to be more Afrobeat. Switch Up was supposed to be very trap and be Bryson Tiller. Unavailable was actually a country tune. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Unavailable has a whole track, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna ask about that. But Switch Up, yes. Switch Up is very speakeasy, very Harlem Renaissance. And I was very intentional about that, like even with the instrumentation of it. So I was like, I wanted to be very minimal. I wanted to feel like I'm at a speakeasy. And even he had the bass line plucked out on the keyboard. Shout out to Sinkamani, the whole producer for the project. That boy's cold. Everything out here, he arranged, he put together. Sinkamani is the GOAT, and his project is 50 million times better than anything I have ever put out. So I'm gonna send that to y'all afterwards.
Send it.
Send it right through.
This project is amazing.
Send it right through.
He had the bass line out, like he had it structured on his keyboard, and I was like, I don't want it like to be just like keyboard and snaps. If I really want to go for a speakeasy feel, I need an upright bass. Like, I want a big jazz upright bass. And my boy EJ, shout out to the Duo Productions, he is one of the coldest keyboard players, or he's the one who plays the organ on Brown Liquor. Man. He is a fantastic bass player, and he's also in the jazz studies program at Texas State. So he owns an upright. And I said, okay, I know you've done tracking for Brown Liquor. I know you've done some synth stuff. The synth solo at the end of Brown Liquor, he's the one who does that. He's the organ on Brown Liquor. But I also know that just as well he can play keys, he can play bass even better. So I said, I need you to throw some upright bass on this because this is the feel I'm going for. He said, say this, I got you. I can do this. And I said, okay, bet. So after he sent me the upright bass track, I told Sync, just cut the bass that you was playing in your hands and just insert this upright bass track. And that solidified like that speakeasy 1920s Harlem Renaissance.
Oh my goodness. That's when the Renaissance was like 20s, 30s. And then that sound was just, I was like, this is like the perfect song.
Yeah,
Wow.
Switch Up is one of my favorite records on the
Yeah,
project.
man.
Not only was the music part of it great, but them bars that you was spitting was fire too.
Bruh.
He had a line in there where
When
he
you
said,
said what
he said
goes
out
around
with,
comes
yeah,
around tenfold, come back tenfold. I was like,
that's what
yo,
I was about to say. He
I
said
was
out with
like,
the old,
that nigga spitting.
yeah, fam. That's the exact line I was about to say.
I was very surprised that y'all like that one. Like a lot of people have said that's my favorite one, and I'm like, bro, that's not even meant to be y'all's favorite.
That
Like
and
in
Brown
my
Liquor.
head, I was like, this is not gonna be their favorite.
It's the best
They gonna
one.
hate
That and Brown Liquor. That song is up there for me. Because when I heard like, because I listened to, I was like, the instrumentation, the lyric, I was like, this is a top song. This and Brown Liquor. Those are the whole thing is amazing. Those two are mine. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I had a question about the Brown Liquor sessions. I had a chance to actually watch that whole entire thing, and I just want to say that shit was fucking dope. I've always wanted to be like a fly on the wall in like studio sessions, and I felt like watching that like it was a live experience. Like actually, I felt like I was there. So was that something that you did intentionally in regards to like us not being able to see live performances during the pandemic? I felt like that was the perfect thing to put out there to kind of showcase your talent. So did you kind of do that intentionally, or was it just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just, put this out there?
Yeah, that was the intention behind it. So when Unavailable dropped, that was November of last year. I wanted to do some type of party, like, let me just scale back and backtrack a little bit and say, people do not know how stressful and how much work it is putting out any type of project on your own with no label. So I was like, I want to celebrate this. Like, I don't ever get the chance to just really sit back and celebrate my stuff. And this is like, that was a really, like, this project is a very big deal for me. Like, I put it together. I was unemployed, funding it on my own, pulling resources together on my own. I wrote the whole project by myself. Like, it was a really big thing for me. So I really wanted to do something. Of course, me at the time, just having a real salary job, still broke, not really able to do a lot at the time, was like, okay, I'll just do a live, like an Instagram live. But I wanted to like maybe even do a small thing in my backyard in person, but I had COVID. Like that, I caught COVID like a week, like maybe 3 weeks.
I remember when you told me about that, because I think you were supposed to do some session with Taylor. Shout out to Taylor. Yes.
Shout out to Taylor.
Love Taylor so much. We gotta have her on.
Black Boy Joy. We were supposed to do
Black Boy Joy. Yeah.
It was supposed to be me, Kev, Devontae / Luther, Polo the Vibe. It was going to be like all of the hottest male R&B vocals in Dallas. And I had to back out of that because I had COVID. And that was also going to be a good time for some exposure right before my project dropped. So I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do because I had COVID. And then from then on, I was like, okay, well, I got a job now. So let me just start taking a little bit out. Put y'all on game. Start taking a little bit from yourself and just sitting it back for other little side projects. So that's what I was doing. And I was like, finally to a point to where, I got enough, I got enough setback to do a little some, So it was very much like Tiny Desk feel. I wanted to put it together in a way that was very casual, yet still official. Really just kind of like a fly in the wall in a studio session, but still live sessions.
Oh man.
Yeah, very big thing that I was very proud of myself for being able to pull that off, and shout out to the team for that. Kill Cohen was the visual person, the visual director, and the videographer for that. Colin Tucker, that was actually shot at Texas State. That's Texas State University studio.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. That studio was owned by them. It's called Fire Station Studios. It used to be the fire station that's in San Marcos. So it's very dope, very vintage. It's everything I wanted for that type of visual project. And it was even made more special because I was able to bring in the actual musicians who helped me with the stems for my project. So like Brian Johnson, the same person who played the guitar solo on Brown Liquor, that's the same person who you saw in the session. The same person you seen playing keys and organ, that's the same person who was playing all of the keys and stuff. That's EJ. That's the one who was playing all of the stuff on Brown Liquor, and that's the one who played the upright bass on Switch Up. And James, while I wanted him to be a part of the project, he I couldn't get him for the project because finances and stuff. But when I was able to get him for my live sessions, I said, you need to be on here. So let's pull you in too, because he's also a musician that I play with and I gig with a lot when I'm out hitting in different cities. So I wanted to be with my boys. I wanted to be with my brothers. I wanted to be with my family. And that I feel like made it more special for me because I was able to just like relax and be in the moment and actually have fun the way I would have had I had like an EP release or like an EP type celebration for my project.
Yeah, so you really make music in literally the traditional way of like gathering people and live instrumentation. I love that.
Yeah, it looked like it was just like a fun time. You were comfortable and it was just, like I love watching it. I was engaged.
It was. I mean, putting it, so the initial recording of it was, I would say I planned for a lot of things and I had a few setbacks. Like I had to go in and do another session. Originally, it was supposed to be just one long day or like one set of like 6 hours. We go in here, we record these sessions. Everybody knows the music. I have, stems to kind of help fill in some places, but some things happen. Wasn't able to get all of what I wanted in that first session, and then the winter storm came like the week that I was supposed to release that, and it set that project back because I want to say the day that I was supposed to release it was like we were in like day 3 or 4. People were still without power, and I was like, I'm not about to. How we gonna watch it? How we gonna watch it? Everybody, how we gonna watch it? Like everybody majority of the people who would enjoy it and appreciate it are in Texas, and we are without power, so we scrapping it. And while I was very hurt in the moment, it allowed me the opportunity to set up another session and put it out the way that I wanted to. So when I first went in, after we started gathering all of the content and trying to mix and master everything and put the visual clips together, I was like, okay, I mean, it's kind of what I want, but it's not what I envisioned in the beginning. But we just gonna rock with it, and I'll just do like 2 episodes, and I can do a continuation of it. But the winter storm was a blessing in disguise because it delayed it. I was able to go back in, fix some of the things that were not there initially. Re-record some things. We were able to go in and remaster some things. I was able to pull Synchomani back in to help with some mixing and mastering. And I was able to put it out the way that I intended to put it out. So I was very grateful for that.
Nice. That's so dope, bro. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. I was like, and Ari was loving it. Ari be vouching. She vouches for Chris for real. I love it. I love it.
I love her. Okay.
Ari loves you. I love it. Yeah, man.
I did want to bring up something that you said on there that was very, very, very powerful, and it really hit me. It was when you said that you've learned to be there for yourself and to show up for yourself. And as long as you're able to do that, whatever people think about you and what society thinks about you, it doesn't matter. Like that is so powerful, because if we as humans would just not worry about what the fuck society thinks, like it would make life so much easier. Yeah. So have you struggled with like any, I mean, I don't want to say depression because I don't want to get too dark or anything, but like have you just been at a low point in your life and had to deal with that?
Yes, absolutely. I won't go into too much detail, but I will say my first year in San Marcos was probably the lowest, like the absolute lowest that I had ever felt. Like I was 100% alone. I had roommates at the time, but Did not know them. Didn't really care for them.
Yeah.
And I just felt alone, like I was in this new city. You know, I had been in a very small town that at the time, like Huntsville is manageable. You can be in Huntsville, you can make friends easily, you can put yourself out there easily. Everybody knows everybody. You don't have to worry about reintroducing yourself anytime you step into the room. And I got to San Marcos, and that wasn't the case. And it was just very difficult trying to push through that and push past that. So that was the lowest I had been. And I felt like at the time, which was very toxic of me, I just had these expectations that people would just kind of automatically empathize with me and just automatically be there for me. And I'm like, I know now that that was unfair of me to put that expectation on people, with one, without them knowing, and two, with them in their own lives and everything that they have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like I deal with people, and people who are close to me also live very multifaceted lives. So it was very selfish and very toxic of me to hope and to wish that people would like give all their attention to me. And that was a very toxic thing that I went through. It drove me to a point of like just depression, and I was very low. And I started working out, had to really just like do the work to dig myself out of that. Was praying a lot, just really taking my spirituality a lot more serious. While those thoughts are still battles, again, I'm a lot further along now than I was then. And I have truly learned, like, it is definitely, I have to be intentional about it. Like I have to wake up and choose to be there for myself. Like I have to choose to talk to myself. Like people think you're crazy when you talk to yourself. Like, no, I have to talk to myself sometimes and say, we're not going to do that. We're not going to ascribe to these negative emotions. You're going to wake up, you're going to act like you the shit, you're going to be the shit. You're going to have a good day, because no, we're not doing that. You know, like I literally have to be there for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I said that in those sessions, while I felt like I was just in the moment trying to pull content together, bring it all together, I really felt that like in the process of creating this EP, there were many days where I had to just force myself, you have to go out and work tonight, because if you don't, you're not going to have the money to pull this together. Like you got to get up and you got to work out, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to think straight and write later. Like I've had to literally be there for myself. If ain't nobody else gonna push me, I am very self-motivated and self-driven. I'm gonna talk to myself. I'm gonna talk myself up. I'm gonna push myself to the point where I need to be, to where I can be active and where I can, you know, do and perform. You know, and it's like, again, I said, it's still a battle. Like these are still things that I have to do. I have not arrived. I am so far from arrival. Nobody will ever arrive. We're gonna die and we will never arrive. Okay. But if you can choose to just wake up and take steps toward your best self, you know, you choosing to be there for yourself, waking up, talking yourself up, you know, like these are things that I have to do daily. So I said that, and I felt like in the moment it was just something that sounded cute, but I really felt that. Like I was watching it with y'all and I was like, damn, like I really have been doing a good job of just being there for myself, like over the past year and a half, past 2 years. So yeah, I'm glad that everybody else felt that way too.
Yeah, that really hit me. Yeah, that really hit me whenever I heard it, because I can identify with that. I've been there before at a low point, and what you said is absolutely correct. Sometimes you just have to say things out loud, be positive out loud. That really does help. And I thought that it was really important that you put that there, because during this pandemic, mental health issues have been at an all-time high. So, you know, a lot of people are going through a lot of mental health shit. So I thought that was really dope that you put that there. It really hit me.
Yeah. So my question, it was about the actual song Unavailable. So on that song, when you were like emotionally unavailable, like were you feeling like you were losing yourself or something? Like when you were like putting that out, or before you put that out, that's how you were feeling, huh? Like
yeah, that song was written in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. It was written like when I was alone in the house by myself, and I was like, you know what, let me just try to sit down and write something. And that, like, those lyrics came, the first part of the song that came together was of course, the chorus. Like, I'm taking some time to be with myself. That's what I had first. And then when I moved back to Dallas, I was able to, after like thinking about the other tracks that I wanted to put on the EP, I was able to narrate it a little bit better. Like, give you the verse, when I get home. Like, I was able to write that. I wrote that part last and then was able to tie it all together. But that song was written from a very hurt and very like low, like, let me just take some time. Like, I had given a lot of energy to a lot of people and a lot of things, and I hadn't really just been good to myself the way I needed to be, and just loved on myself the way I needed to be loved. And that was just kind of like my testament of like, nah, I need to really be paying a lot more attention to me, because I've been neglecting me. And I need to be there for myself. I need me, because obviously we in the pandemic, you know, everybody dealing with their own stuff. I have to literally take the time to be with me and be there for me, because if not, then I'm gonna lose it. Like, I'm literally about to go that shit crazy. So I meant that when I said it, and I still mean it.
Nah, that registered with me for sure. Like, when you was like, I'm gonna go home and spend time, I was like, I'm ready to go home. I was like, I was like, bro, I'm ready. I was like, yeah, this one right here is hitting me. I was like, this is it right here. It's time to go, bro.
I'll be here soon.
I am, bro. I hit 4 months yesterday. I was like, 4 more months. I'm back in Dallas.
We
4 more months.
Invite me to the welcome back party. So I'm gonna go up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bro, me and Tim was talking about that. Was like, when I come back, we doing a get together. You there, of course.
Definitely.
The whole squad is there for sure.
You and the saxophone.
Yeah, but
I just want to come turn up.
He's like, I don't want to play the sax. I just want to drink and have
I just want to come have a couple of drinks.
Don't bring the sax. It's like, I don't want to.
Oh,
no, man. It's gonna just be a vibe. We're gonna play music. Shoot, we're gonna go somewhere. Or we might be at my crib, but it don't matter. We'll find somewhere. Yeah, man. For sure. We're gonna definitely have a get together. But nah, that song, I was like, yeah, man, that's hit me on a personal, real level right now. Like, I was like, yeah, man. This project is amazing, bro. I love it. I done played it 20 times.
I appreciate that. Like, I don't, like I said, I was very nervous about all of this, because I was like, dang, I gotta do good, because I ain't gonna lie, like, this Summer Walker, this might be the first and the last. Okay?
Oh man,
first to last.
Man, we need
project,
another one.
First to last. Tour, all of that. This may be the first.
The man gonna do the Lauryn Hill on us.
Miseducation, and that's it. I ain't getting no more after that.
We definitely need it.
Man.
But no, I just had one more question. I don't want to take up too much of your time. When you make it, because you will, is there any specific artist that or who's the first person that you're running to and you want to work with, like the first person?
You can't ask me that in public. Dang. Do I have to give you one artist? Can I just give you like?
No,
I say
okay.
Do a list.
Oh my gosh! And again, like sometimes I feel like little asking this or answering this question, because a lot of the people that I admire to my core are still in the process of, in their own right, because that's what they tell people, like they still trying to make it, right? But if I had to start with people who I feel like have just in their own fashion arrived, I would love to work with her.
Dope.
I would love to work with Xavier Omar.
That dude. Oh man.
Of course, a lot of people don't know who Brick Liam is. I would love to work with Brick Liam. Our Linux is a big person that I want to work with. In terms of like just production wise, Ty Dolla $ign. Would love to work with Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh yeah.
He is so underrated.
So underrated.
So underrated. People have forgotten about Black, but Black really got me through. Black really, that like when I was in that first year at SM, Black really dug me out of a lot of stuff, and I want to work with Black. I would like to work with Summer Walker and her baby daddy. I want to work with everybody again. I want to be if I had to pick of course, PJ Morton. I would like to possibly do work with everybody on PJ Morton's label and everybody at Ghetto Earth. So London on the track is somebody who I would like to work with. Of course, Ajani, Kenyon Dixon, Samo. Definitely would love to work with Samo. I feel like people ask me what type of rappers I would like to work with. I don't really, while I've been brainstorming like different tracks that I could have a verse or have somebody come in and spit, like I don't really know a lot of rappers. All of the rappers I would like to work with are local. So like Cali the King, Spike Chester. I feel like I could see myself working with Cypher from Dallas, Texas. But yeah, it's like a lot of people that people don't know, but I secretly admire. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I could do beautiful things with these people.
Yeah.
I just thought about somebody. I was like, I think Christian's music would fit perfect with like Fonte, bro.
Oh man, that would be great.
I don't know if you know Fonte is or if you listen to Fonte, but
Put me on.
So was Lil Brother is the group that he's in.
Yeah, so
his sound has like, I think it would mesh well with your sound.
I know that group. I do believe I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So but Fonte is like one of the guys on the but he has his own like music, and I feel like your music would mesh well with the way he raps.
That would be dope too, because Fonte, not only is he an amazing lyricist, he also sings too. We always talk about it. He was the first Drake, so he raps.
Yeah, he was Drake before Drake.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah, I could see him working with Fonte for sure. Like the way Fonte raps, Fonte has that like it goes with neo soul, traditional R&B type rap.
Those are the type of MCs, like those are the type of lyricists that I'm like, like nothing too common. If I get there, if I branch off to that, then but like for my sound, for what I'm trying to protrude and convey, absolutely.
Yeah, he did one song. He did I think it was called Forever. It's this artist named Anthony David. I'm a big Anthony David fan. Actually, I met Anthony David, and his sound with Fonte's is like perfect. And the way that Anthony David sings and the way Fonte rap, I could see that with your music. I like that'd be perfect. Like, perfect.
You don't want Future to put a verse on your shit.
If I get there, I get there. But if I get there, somebody have a conversation with me, because
he's like, because my music done switched up. He's like, my music done switched up all the way.
Like all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like not that I don't have room to deviate from what I've given y'all, but I feel like if I deviate too far, I wouldn't be true to who I am. Like I put so much of myself into Unavailable, and so much of what I love and what I like is Unavailable. While I want to branch off from there and experiment with more sounds, experiment with more people, I definitely want to, like, what y'all have been given is like in my opinion, a very nice, solid foundation for me to build and branch off on.
That's you. It's all you. That whole project is just, that's you. I hear that, like, you know what I'm saying? The Renaissance sound, the old school, the just all of that. That's you for sure.
Yeah.
So I love it, bro. I love it.
Thank y'all, man. I really appreciate that.
Shoot, I don't think I got any more questions. I think that's it for me.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. You know what I'm saying? No, I really appreciate you for coming to hang with us, man, and talk with us. Let the people know where they can get the EP from. Let them know.
Yeah, all the links. We're gonna put all the links in the bio and all of that stuff.
You can get it everywhere where streaming is available: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Play, Tidal, like literally every streaming platform. I believe I'm on like SoundCloud Premium and YouTube Red, like all of those streaming platforms. Just type in Chris Teague, Unavailable, Chris Teague Suicide. all of my tracks I've done work with Sage Michael. So if you know who Sage Michael is, if you type his name in, that's also another direct link to me, also another dope artist for y'all to check out. But I can be followed everywhere. I'm on Twitter as well, Facebook, but I'm at my friend limit on Facebook. So really just Twitter and Instagram and Clubhouse. I just got into Clubhouse. Clubhouse is really fun. So if you find me on Clubhouse, I will add you back.
Dope.
Nice.
Y'all heard it. Go stream the EP Unavailable. Hey,
Yes,
Chris,
sir.
so much for hanging with us, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, brethren.
All the best. Stay blessed. Keep being great. And thank y'all for tuning in to episode 54 of the TNT podcast. We'll be right back at y'all with another one. And peace.
We out of here.